If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new album in the description. Let's talk about Kevin Gates and his new album, because that is something that I completely just kind of neglected over the past couple of days, but he has announced that he's gonna drop a new album next Friday, and he's just dropped, 2 new singles for it, or 2 songs in anticipation for it. But let's jump straight into this and see what this is all about. So Kevin Gates announced that he's going to be dropping his new album on June 17th. Now, this was already a while back. This was like last month. But back when that happened, I completely jumped over it. I did include it in my all albums dropping in June, but never made a single video on it. So I wanted to change that, but also because in light of all the new stuff that's been happening. This album is going to be called Khaza. Now, I've heard him pronounce it way differently in a way that I don't remember in an interview, but this is the name of his child. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've heard it before. He references it in interviews, but I just can't remember it. And it was some weird way that it was not the obvious one. So correct me if I'm wrong. I could probably completely butchered that, but let's look at what he's done for this album so far. So he's been releasing a couple of singles for this. For example, we got a single called Bad For Me the other week, or 2-3 weeks ago, that I did actually enjoy. I thought Kevin Gates is capable of way more, but I did enjoy that single, just as it is. But the actual big news that just happened is this freestyle. This super general freestyle that he's released on his YouTube as a little video, as a little freestyle, as you do. And this is over the beat of Super Gremlin by Kodak Black. You probably all heard that song. It's blowing up everywhere. One of the biggest songs of 2022 so far, to be honest. And this freestyle is something else. It's just look at the lyrics. We can go over a couple of them. For example, look at this one by Rubi Rose. I'm not going to read it out because I don't want to risk, getting demonetized for this. But just read through it. Yeah, this is something that Kevin Gates, a 36-year-old man, said on this record. I don't know how to take this. I don't know if I find this actually cool, rebellious, kind of yeah, he just said something that a lot of people wouldn't say. I like that. Or if he's just being weird about it. But he recently also got divorced. I don't know if they're divorced yet, but split from his wife after she cheated on him with her personal trainer. So that might be a reason for these lyrics, about these Rubi Rose lyrics. For example, Rubi Rose was cool with it though. She replied on Twitter and just tweeted, Kevin Gates freaky as hell, LOL. So I do like that. I do like that she's taking it with a little bit of humor to it. But also, look at these lyrics. Ain't no disrespect to Jigga, met through Nipsey. Don't know if they into swinging. Beyonce need to let me hit it. And then the line after it, also I don't want to say it because I don't want to get demonetized. But the line after it says, I want Nicki, she need Kevin. She's still playing around with Kenneth. Actually expressing his wish to sleep with both of them. Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, and then also Rubi Rose. So this was kind of all into it. The first time I heard this, I was like, yo, what's happening? How is this Kevin Gates? How is this the dude that's on all these, clips of talking about his third eye and all these meditation practices, and then he goes on to drop something like this? I was blown away. And as I said, I'm really torn between if I like this or if I don't like this, because it's easy to just say something really offensive or really provocative and get people talking. That's what he's doing right here. And it's really easy to just do that in an over-exaggerated way. And I would almost categorize this as that, to just say oh, he just wanted to get out there and create some controversy. But then again, a lot of people wouldn't have the balls to say this, so I do commend him for that. So that's kind of the split, the torn that I am between the ways that this could go. But this is just what happened with the new super general freestyle. But he then also released another single right after this, and I think that is actually the important part, because he did this perfectly. He released a song called Intro, and the official music video for it, and this is undoubtedly the intro for the new album, so the first track on there. And he did it only 8 hours after the freestyle dropped, which I think was genius, because so many people were talking about him because he was just going crazy with the bars on there, as I just showed y'all. And then right after it, he dropped this other track. It didn't do as well as the first at the point of recording this. The Super General Freestyle got about 2 million views, while the intro, video only got about 200,000. But still, I think that promoting your album in this way was really smart from him. And the important part is that he didn't just drop any song in this intro track. The song is actually dope. Like, the song itself is better than the Super General Freestyle. Kevin Gates is going, just freaking insane on here. From the bars, to what he's saying, to how confident he comes across, to the energy that he brings to the track, to the music video that is really crazy. Also, I love how fast-paced it is, but it still seems very coordinated. Go watch that video. Go support that video, because I feel like there's a whole plan behind this. Dropping this really provocative freestyle and then following it up with the intro track to your new album that's dropping in 7 days. I feel like that is pretty, I don't want to say genius, because it's not like something out of this world, but it is pretty smart. And Kevin Gates definitely regained some relevancy with this. Like, just from dropping that freestyle and being so provocative with it, a lot of more people are talking about Kevin Gates, in the conversation, hip hop in general. And then the week after, his album is dropping, so a lot of more people are also going to be talking about that. So all in all, Kevin Gates, I have some respect for the dude for going out there and saying something that not everybody would have said. So I do respect that, even though maybe it wasn't a very over the top, kind of provocative way. But I do really respect that, and I hope that he brings some of this onto the album. He can't release a track that is more important than the album that's then gonna drop. So I have big hopes for the album. Intro is sounding crazy so far. I mean, Bad For Me wasn't that good. It was alright, but if he goes hard in a couple of these tracks like he did on intro, I am in very good spirits that this album is gonna be insane. Also, judging just from the kind of rise in notoriety that he's gotten in like all these Instagram reels and TikToks and all of that, for spilling some wisdom on there, and it's crazy the path that he's taken. So I'm really excited for Khaza. Well, how do you even say that? Can anybody kind of like clear this up for me, how you pronounce this dude's album, this dude's kids? Anyway, that's gonna drop next week, June 17th. Mark your calendars. A lot of stuff dropping that same day. Logic is dropping also. Who else was dropping the 17th? Joey Badass, for example. So we got a lot of people to still cover over the next couple of days, but Kevin Gates definitely now still worth listening to a little more than it was before this freestyle. So let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know your thoughts on the Super General Freestyle. How do you take these comments that he's made? How do you feel about the new intro single that he's released, about the new album that's going to be released next week? Do you think that he's actually got some potential to top the two other people dropping the same day? All your thoughts on this, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.